In this video, we're going to talk about how to sleep to fix rounded shoulders. Maybe you've got bad posture, you've got some shoulder pain, you just feel like, man, I gotta get out of this rounded shoulder posture. We're gonna talk about what causes rounded shoulder posture. We're gonna talk about how to sleep if you have rounded shoulders and different positions and how they affect your rounded shoulder posture. And by the end of the video, I'm going to explain the most powerful step you can take to fix your rounded shoulders for the long term. First, let's talk about what causes rounded shoulders. Many people are led to believe that rounded shoulders are just a product of genetics. They look at their parents and they see, they have bad posture. I have bad posture, it's probably because of them. It completely absolves you of any responsibility for having rounded shoulders. The problem is this also philosophically makes you a helpless victim, and all you can do is blame your parents. Guess what? Your rounded shoulders are not your parents' fault, and you can do something to fix your rounded shoulders. The position of your shoulders is just a result of what your muscles are able to do. There's a force called gravity that is constantly dragging us towards the ground. In order to improve rounded shoulders, you need to have muscles that actually can position your shoulder bones where you want them. And if you're not conscious about this and your muscles are not doing the right thing, you are going to have shoulders that are constantly stuck in a rounded position. Instead of getting caught up in victimhood with this genetic idea, I want you to remember a simple idea. ATM. Always think muscles. Muscles have a certain resting length and tension. They also have a maximum amount of strength. If the muscles that are between your shoulder blades are too long and or too weak, you will find it difficult to impossible to fix rounded shoulders. In addition, if the muscles that create spinal extension, meaning straightening your spine, are too weak or too long, you will not be able to fix your rounded shoulders because your spine is making it difficult to get the range of motion required, and you won't be able to fire the right shoulder muscles to position things correctly. At the most simplified level, people who have rounded shoulders have trouble getting their shoulder blades to come together and anchor them down. So now let's look at how sleep and sleeping positions can affect rounded shoulders. As we look at the different sleep positions, we'll see if there really is a magic sleep position that's going to help your rounded shoulders. If you lie face down on a softer surface with your arms by your sides, your shoulders are still going to round. If you have your hands and arms out to the sides, your shoulders are still going to round. What if we put our hands under our head, or we use a pillow and put our hands underneath that? Will that fix the rounded shoulders? Unfortunately, it's not really going to fix the rounded shoulders, but it may be a slight improvement because you are getting a little bit more support and pushing the shoulder blades just a little bit more up towards the ceiling, maybe. What about side sleeping for rounded shoulders? Is that any better? Side sleeping is most definitely not the best sleeping position if you are trying to fix rounded shoulders. If you're on a firm bed or firm surface, you'll find that the bottom shoulder gets crushed into a rounded position, and the top shoulder will also be in a rounded position just to keep you balanced. If you were to put your top shoulder in a position that's less rounded, you'd just fall back and end up lying face up. If you're lying on a softer bed, it'll reduce the amount of pressure that's forcing the bottom shoulder into rounding, but it's still going to be rounded, and the top shoulder will still have the same balance issue and will still be in a slightly rounded position. Finally, let's look at the face-up sleeping position if you have rounded shoulders. If you're sleeping face up on a firm surface, you can see that the shoulders are less likely to round. There's generally less force that's going to pull the shoulders into a rounded position. However, if you are sleeping on a really soft bed, that can cause shoulder rounding because the bed cradles you and your heavier torso will sink lower than your relatively light arms, which will be cradled and pushed forward into a rounded posture position. So the best sleeping position to fix rounded shoulders is probably lying face up. But ultimately, the question of what the best sleeping position is actually a trap. A big misconception that's implicit in this question of the best sleeping position is that you're going to be able to stay in that sleeping position all night long. In college, I suffered a shoulder injury that got my shoulder stuck in a rounded position. To fix it, I tried lying on my back and even putting a pillow under my back to allow my shoulder to drop back even more. I tried to sleep like this all night long, and it probably won't surprise you to learn that it was really uncomfortable and my experiment didn't really work. When we're asleep, we're often shifting positions. It's really not that normal for a human body to stay completely motionless in the same position for hours and hours and hours at a time. That's true whether you're awake or asleep. Your body still moves around. For hospital patients who are stuck in bed for days and weeks at a time, immobilized, bed sores develop. Nurses come in to move them, turn them, and make sure that their bodies don't disintegrate due to the lack of movement. So it's generally not reasonable to expect that when you go to sleep, you're just going to stay in this one position all night long. In addition, based on comments that I've read on previous videos that I've done on sleeping, a lot of people out there cannot sleep on their backs. So does this mean that it's hopeless and that you just can't fix your rounded shoulders? No. Let me share the most powerful thing you can do to fix your rounded shoulders, and it's not just about sleeping. To fix rounded shoulders, you need to train the muscles that'll help you achieve better shoulder position. That means training your spinal extensors to remove any hunchback posture, and then training the muscles that pull your shoulder blades together. None of this requires special knowledge or skills. You don't have to go through a 4 to 10 year education to become a doctor or a chiropractor or a massage therapist, whatever. You can learn very simple exercises that will fix your shoulder position. And to do that, check out the links below. I've got free videos on YouTube that I'm gonna link to down below that will help you fix your rounded shoulders. Fixing rounded shoulders does not require a bunch of fancy, expensive equipment. It's just simple stuff, easy stuff that you can do on a regular basis to train the right muscles. Now you understand the nuts and bolts of having rounded shoulders, and you understand what you really have to do to fix it. That shoulder injury that I mentioned earlier really bugged me for years. I couldn't even sleep on my right side because it would feel like my shoulder was so unstable and crunchy and clicky and poppy and painful. By training the right muscles to get out of that rounded shoulder posture, I regained the ability to sleep soundly while on my right side. That may sound like a small, petty, whatever victory, but it was amazing. When I was finally able to lie on my side, it was like a whole new world. Wherever you are in your journey to fix your rounded shoulders, please know that it is possible as long as you ATM, always think muscles. If you're looking for more detailed help with your posture or with a shoulder issue, be sure to check out the links below to the Hunchback Fix and the Shoulder Fix programs on my website at uprighthealth.com. Share this video on Reddit, share this with your friend, share it on InstaTalks. I'm Matt Shute from Upright Health, reminding you that pain sucks, life shouldn't.